So I wanted to start out today with a few definitions for the words discover and essence. If you were to look in the dictionary, you would find the definition of discover as to find something or someone in the course of a search, and to learn something new, become aware of something. And for the word essence, you would find the part of something that is central to its existence or character, and a property or group of properties of something without which it would not exist or be what it is. So if you put those two words together, you can surmise that rediscovering the essence of you, the title of this talk, means finding or becoming aware of the part of us that is central to the core of our existence. Let me say that again. Finding or becoming aware of the part of us that is central to the core of our existence. The only problem is most of us don't know what our essence really is. So let's delve into this with a little story. And for this story, the central character is going to be a boat. Way back, there was an idea, a concept, to create a sailing vessel. And decisions had to be made whether to use wood or metal, nails, screws. Was there going to be a sail? Was there going to be a motor? What kind of navigation elements? And so forth. And all of those things had a function, but it wasn't until you put them together that they had a purpose. And that purpose was to sail, to glide across the water and take people and things to different destinations. And the boat did a great job of that, just moving along on its way. But along its journey, there were things that happened that were out of the boat's control. One time, another boat, a bigger boat, crossed by a little too closely, creating a wake. And it jostled the boat about a little bit. Nothing major, but it was taken off kilter a little bit. But once the water settled back down, the boat went on its way. When the boat was a little bit older, a big storm came, and there was lots of wind and rain and hail, and this did some damage to the boat. Its sails were ripped a little bit, there were some scratches and dings, and its once bright paint job started to fade. But after a little time in the marine repair shop, the boat was ready to go. Smooth sailing was on the horizon. And then one day, the boat hit some rocks that were hidden just below the surface that it didn't see. And it tore a big hole in the hull. It took on way too much water, and it sunk to the bottom of the body of water in which it was sailing. And there it lay, in pieces, a shell of its former self. The boat's essence, the parts for which it was created and the purpose for which it was found, was lost. Sort of. But only because it was holding on to the former shell of itself, how it looked, felt, and appeared to other people. And because of this, it had no idea what to do or how to pull itself together. Can anybody relate? Does any part of this boat story sound like your story? We're all doing the same thing in some ways. We say, I used to be young, I used to be thin, I used to be pretty, I used to be handsome. I didn't have wrinkles, there was no platinum hair. Gravity hadn't started pulling things south yet. I used to be married, or I used to be in a relationship. I used to be a hands-on parent, or a daughter or son. I used to be respected for who I was or what I had accomplished. But now that some of those things have changed, or some of them are gone, I'm not seen anymore, or my value and worth have diminished. Many of you know my story, how several years ago, after a series of events happened in a short period of time, I went from being a confident, outgoing woman that no one would ever have known was anything but confident, to contemplating a permanent exit strategy from this life experience. Like the boat, I came into this world as a beautiful, brilliant, bright light that was just so excited to be here. I was fed, and I was clothed, and I was bathed, and I was held, and people oohed and awed all over me. Life was simply wonderful. But, as I've told this story before, as I began growing up, things started to change. And the external messages I was getting from those around me weren't quite as rosy. And just being myself became a challenge. It seemed like everywhere I looked, I was being battered by something else. And that series of events that happened in a short period of time slammed into me like a torpedo, and just like the boat, there I lay in pieces. But I didn't even want to try and pull myself together. I just wanted to be done with it. Luckily, I didn't do it, and I'm still here to talk about it. What the boat needs, what I needed, what you might need, is to leave behind these old stories to rediscover the essence of you, and leave behind "I used to be" or "I used to have" types of statements. We need to really listen to what we are telling ourselves about ourselves. Shipwrecks are like the troubling things that happen in our lives. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. If we are open and willing, we can work through our challenges to discover the hidden gems and jewels within. So here are some gentle and actionable steps that you can take every day to rediscover your hidden gems and jewels. Number 1, take some time to sit in the silence. Take some time to sit in the silence. Our brains are moving, going all the time, and that monkey mind, like they say, blocks the way for clear thinking. We're so focused on trying to find that solution to all of our problems and making sure at the same time we don't screw it up by taking the wrong step, that we're not allowing any space for our inner guidance to lead us or our heart to show the way. So take some time to sit in the silence. Number 2, think about how you would want to feel most of the time. How would you want to feel most of the time? Come up with a few words or phrases of how you'd want to feel throughout your day. Maybe it's blissful, or peaceful, or accomplished, or steadfast, or just you, whatever you is. But don't just think of those words and phrases. Write them down where you can look at them and say them aloud to yourself often throughout the day. Number 3, reconnect with what makes your heart sing. Reconnect with what makes your heart sing. Think about what brings you joy. Is it being out in nature? Is it baking? Is it painting? Maybe it's sitting on the floor, playing with your children or your grandchildren. Maybe it's sitting on the couch in your favorite sweatpants, right, with a book and a hot drink. Whatever it is that brings you joy, try to stop and reconnect with that. Number 4, take note of the positive things that people say about you. And I don't mean, I like what you're wearing, your hair always looks good, or anything necessarily attributed to something physical or something that you have. I'm talking about people who comment, you have such great energy, or you have a beautiful smile, or you're so gentle with other people, or you light up the room when you come in. Anything that you hear people say over and over, and maybe you blow it off like it's nothing or it's not true, that's what other people see in you and the energy you bring to the world. That is part of your divine essence. Number 5, create I am affirmations. You are so many wonderful things, so say it and affirm it. They can be words like, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am worthy. By changing your focus from the past or even the future to the present moment, it helps you more easily stand firm in the knowing of who you are right here and right now. I am. And number 6, own your personal power. Own your personal power. Remember and own the fact that you have always been growing and changing and learning on the way to becoming who you are today. There have been some successes and there have been some setbacks, but all of them are help defining who you are at any particular moment in time. So be sure to always own your personal power. Now, just to be clear, knowing who you are and reconnecting with your divine essence is not always a leisurely walk in the park, right? Pivoting when things happen, righting yourself, and reconnecting to your essence takes work. But you need to be willing to put into that work and leave behind those old stories and versions of yourself that are not serving you any longer. If you keep practicing these steps on a regular basis, I guarantee you will start to see that life starts to flow along a little more smoothly. And then when things happen, it's really easy to connect and get back on schedule. Just like the creator of the boat, Spirit created you with all of the elements you would need to navigate this life experience. You just need to let go and let God. We just need to be willing and able to love ourselves unconditionally, warts and all. And we need to stop allowing others to dictate who we should be, what we should believe in, and how we should show up in this world. The answer to the question, who am I, may change, and that's okay. Remember that your life is a journey and not a destination. You are on a perpetual journey of self-discovery. Finding or becoming aware of the part of us that is central to the core of our existence. Know that no matter what happens in your life, you are enough. In fact, more than enough. So own it, shine it, share it. And when the winds of life come along, navigate them as best you can, step back into yourself and your power, and keep on sailing. So let's close by saying a few affirmations together. Please repeat after me. I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am loving.
I am loving.
I am powerful.
I am powerful.
I am loved and respected by other people. I am a beneficial presence in this world. I am accepted. I am joy. I am love.